is for the crafty folks, okay? If you're cutting out the letters to create a word, it looks very serial killer-like. The air just feels so productive. Hey y'all, it's your girl Toy. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to take you guys through how to make a traditional and digital vision board for 2022. What is a vision board, you might ask? Well, I'm going to tell you about that all in this video, and I'm going to tell you about how to visualize and brainstorm, as well as how to design and expand on some of those ideas using your digital vision board. Make sure you stick around to the end so that you get to see my digital vision board for 2022. But first, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Please hit the like button, comment, and share, and click on the bell so you're notified every time I drop a video. And now let's get into what is a vision board. Traditionally, a vision board is a collage of images cut up from magazines and newspapers and anything else that you can like print off from Google, and it's pasted on a poster board, and it helps you to visualize your goals and your dreams. This project commonly takes place at the beginning of the new year. Of course, you can make a vision board at any point of the year, whenever the spirit strikes you. But today we're going to get into how to create a vision board for 2022. I'm going to share with you some tips on how to create a vision board traditionally and also digitally that is both cost effective and environmentally friendly. First, we're going to visualize and brainstorm on our ideas, on our goals and our dreams. This is the very, very first step that you should do. You don't want to waste your time just scrolling through images when you're doing your digital vision board, or if you're doing a traditional one, cutting up any type of images out of all the newspapers and magazines that you can get your hands on. We're going to visualize our goals and our dreams, and we're going to write them down, whether you handwrite it or whether you use your computer and type it up. You just want to visualize what those goals and what those dreams are. This is the foundation for your board. You'll want to create a vision board that resonates with you, that tells a story, something that you can look at and not get lost in the sauce. So you want to make sure that you have ideas that make sense and that is really personal to you. Most common topics that people use for their vision boards is money, health, travel, love, some of those things that are just very personal to us and things that we want to improve on. So once you visualize those topics, it's time to brainstorm on them. So what I do is I have a column for every topic, and then I just write down anything that resonates with me within that topic. From money, I want to have more money in 2022, so I'm going to write that down. For my career, I want to grow my subscribers, or I want to focus more on my YouTube channel. That's something that I'm going to write down under my career section. And for travel, I want to go on more road trips with my boyfriend. That's something that I'm going to write down, because I'm going to use those ideas later on when it's time to search for images, whether it's for traditional vision board making or digital. Also, this is the time to brainstorm what type of color palette you want. What type of aesthetic are you going for? Do you want something that's light and airy, something with pastel colors, or do you want something bold and brave, something with like reds and greens and purples? Do you want something that's more green in the green area to focus more on money? These are some things that you want to think about, so that later on, when it's time to actually get those images and all of the little elements to go with it, you want to think about those colors so that you're more drawn to those images in the magazines or online. Now that we've visualized and brainstormed our topics, it's time to get creative. This is my favorite part, because I'm a visual artist by nature, and so any excuse I have to be crafty or to get really, really creative, this is it. I jump on top of it. I've done a traditional vision board in the past, and I've also done a digital one, and there are benefits to both. So I'm going to take you through some helpful tips on how to create your 2022 vision board. For a traditional vision board, this is for the crafty folks, okay? Do you like going to Michael's and Hobby Lobby and just going down the aisles with the markers and the glue and the ribbons and the fabric pieces? Is that you? Is that you? Because this is for you. This is for the person that has the time, okay, the effort, and they want to sit there and glue down each and every image, each and every element they can get their hands on. And it is fun. It is fun. I'm not going to lie. Doing this with friends is really, really fun too, because it can be quite tedious, okay? And time goes faster when you're doing this with friends. Actually, the best part of doing a traditional vision board is to host a vision board party. I've done that in the past, and it is just so much fun because you get to share all of your supplies, first of all. And second of all, you get to see what other people are doing. You're inspired by each other, and the air just feels so productive. So what I like to do is I like to go out and get some of the really nice magazines, you know, Vogue and Style, something that's very colorful and creative and gives me nice fashion ideas and stuff. And I purchase those. I don't get a subscription to them, so I don't have them in the house, but I'll go out and purchase them for the sake of doing a very nice traditional vision board. And I'll just cut around the images and place them to the side so that when I'm ready to arrange it, I've got all my pieces, everything is ready. I've got tape, I've got glue, I've got markers, and then, you know, I think this is the funny part, but when you want to put some letters down, you can also write it down with a marker. But if you're cutting out the letters to create a word, it looks very serial killer like, and it can be a little creepy, but also very crafty. So, you know, if that's something that you like to do, then I think the traditional vision board is for you. Now, the downside to doing a traditional vision board is that it is tedious. It takes a while. It takes a long time if you're trying to be very meticulous about what you're doing. And to create a very nice vision board, you don't want to just throw stuff together. What's the point? You just wasted all this time cutting stuff out. You don't want to put just scraps of paper on a piece of poster board just hoping that it's going to look good at the end of the day. No, there's planning that's involved. So it is expensive, you know, to go out there and buy the Vogue magazines, to buy the W magazines. You know, it's expensive to go out there and get the supplies from Hobby Lobby, especially if you want little elements and, you know, little cute crafty things. It costs some money. Digital vision boards, we'll get into that in a second. You don't have to buy all of those items. So I just want to point that out, that there is a monetary difference between a traditional vision board and a digital vision board. Also, unlike digital vision boards, it's not very environmentally friendly because we're cutting out all this paper, we're using all these supplies, you know. It's not great for the trees, you know. Save the trees. We want to save the trees. So that's another downside to creating a vision board traditionally. Like I said, it's tedious and it's time consuming as well. And so you don't want to forget the time that it's taking for you to cut out all of the images, and then the time it takes for you to arrange all the images, the time it takes for you to glue down all the images. And then after you're done, you gotta clean up all the scraps of paper, okay? And then that just produces waste. So, I mean, I am a fan of traditional vision boards just for having it in the task of doing it. But when I think about it, it does take a toll on your pockets and on the environment. And that's just something I wanted to throw out there, just so you know, just so you have it in your back pocket when you're trying to figure out whether you want to do a vision board traditionally or digitally. Now, when you create a digital vision board, you have unlimited images. You don't have to buy a million magazines. You can just simply go online on Google and type up anything you want. For example, you can type up lady holding money wearing blue dress, and that will come up. If that fits your aesthetic and if that's part of your topic, you will find that. Trust me, I did. It's just so much easier. You don't even have to cut the images out. Just simply copy, paste, download, save. You know how this goes. You know, so much easier that way. Also, when you create a digital vision board, you can create multiple versions, and I'll get into that in a second with you, but you can expand on some of those topics and those ideas. And because you're not taking up so much time by cutting out images and arranging everything, you can simply just copy and paste a template. You know, it's so much easier, and you can do that as many times as you want, and it's just so much more organized that way. So much less waste that's produced from doing this digitally, and also something that you can flip through throughout the year if you want to create a nice little booklet of your visions. That's an idea. I created my digital vision board using Canva. If you're not familiar with Canva, Canva is a platform where you can create anything you want. It is a free platform, and yes, they do have some other types of subscriptions available, but you can find any type of images, elements, fonts, anything you need to create your vision board or any other type of creative project that you're working on. Creating a digital vision board is less labor intensive. Like I said, there's no cutting, there's no gluing, there's no cleanup after. That one in my book, I was like, oh, I don't have to do all that. Oh, I'm doing a digital vision board this year. You can also save out your digital vision board. You know, save it down, use it as a screensaver, as a backdrop. You can even get that printed out, share it with your friends, put it up on social media. However way you want to use your digital vision board, you can do that in ways that you can't really use your traditional vision board. Of course, you can always take a picture of your traditional vision board and share that out. But if you have some movies or some videos and some animations that you want to add into your Canva template, then you know that's not really going to work when it's printed out that way. So just think about some of the other things that you might want to do with your vision board aside from getting images, flat images, and some elements. The downside to creating a digital vision board is that if you're a crafty person, there's not really much here for you to do besides being very visual and creating your color scheme and your aesthetic. But if you want the best of both worlds, what you can do is create your template in Canva and then print that out and then add on those other elements like ribbon, do some glue, some glitter glue, something like that, and you'll just have like a nice little digital / traditional mix. I think that'll be really cute. This year I decided to do a digital vision board, and one of my goals is to focus more on my self-care this year. So the less strenuous work on me, the better. So I was not going to sit down at a table or on the floor and start cutting out images out of magazines. I wanted to do something digital, something that was going to be less work, more fun, and give me more options and variety. I created a main vision board, which you can see back here hanging up on the wall. And also I created a myriad of other vision boards that were expanded topics on the topics that are on this vision board on the main page. So I'll show you how I made those in a sec. I visualized and brainstormed on my goals and my dreams. I know the things that are really important to me, so it didn't take me very long to ponder that. And that was love, self-care, travel, career. These things are things that I think about often, so I wanted to make sure that I put that on my board this year. I brainstormed and wrote down a few ideas that came to mind under each topic, and I put that to the side so that when I'm ready to get my images, I have something to work with. I went on Canva and I searched for templates. Canva has tons of templates on there. If you just simply search vision board templates, those templates will just come right on up. So you don't even have to go searching very deeply for it. So if you're someone that wants to create it from scratch, you can also just take a blank canvas and start to put down images that way. But those templates are pretty dope, so you might want to go and check those out. I thought about how I wanted my images displayed, and I kind of wanted that overlapping theme, something close to what a traditional vision board would look like, even though this is digital. So I picked an overlapping theme, and then I also thought about how I wanted my copy to be displayed and what type of fonts I wanted to use. Next, it was time for design. This part is really, really fun because I wanted to pick out my color scheme and my aesthetic to match my dressing room / office. And I have a lot of pinks, golds, greens, and some blues in here, and some floral elements. So I made sure that I picked some bold pinks, some greens, some oranges, and some yellows. I simply went into the element section and searched paint strokes or brush strokes and found a few that I liked, and I found one that was perfect for the color scheme that I picked. Next, for my image search, I went into the element section and I searched for images based on the topics and the notes that I had taken when I brainstormed on those topics. And it was very easy to find stuff that kind of fell in line with the ideas that I was going for. I also used the upload feature to upload some personal images. You know, if you can see, I do have a picture of myself up there, and also some things that I have downloaded from Google. When it was time to arrange all of my images, I arranged my images and my topics around the perimeter of the frame. Okay, I wanted to make sure that everything was organized and had its own grouping. So I would put love on top, or I would put career down on the bottom, or I would put self-care right here on the right hand side. And then all of the images that kind of flowed within that topic were within those clusters and those labels. Once I placed down all of my images, I'd review it, and if I felt like an image could be a little bit better, I just went and searched it again. And then I also added some animated frames that I thought would look really, really cool. Now, when it's time to write the goals and your dreams down on your vision board, this is the time when you should definitely look into what type of fonts is going to work best for your vision board. Canva has tons of fonts to scroll through, so make sure you pick something that's creative and also legible. You want to create a tagline for each topic. topic, like, I believe in my goals and dreams. I will make more money in 2022. I will put my self-care first. In those areas where those labels are, so that everything is organized. You've got image, you've got label, and you've got your copy. And I think that that's very organized that way, so that when you're looking at it, everything just kind of makes sense to the eye, and you're kind of not just scrolling looking for everything to make sense. Everything makes sense already when you have it organized that way. Make sure you keep them short and sweet too, because you don't want to sit there staring at your vision board trying to read a whole paragraph that's this tiny. Keep it short and sweet, nice and big, something that you can visualize, you can look at, and just remind yourself that these goals and these dreams are things that you want to accomplish and that you're striving for in 2022. Okay, now that you're done with your main vision board, I went and printed this up at Staples, and I went and got a frame from Walmart, and it just fits the room so perfectly. It actually does not live here, it lives over by my desk, but I wanted to put it in the background so that you guys can see exactly how I just put this together. And now I'm going to take you guys through how I expanded on those ideas in my other vision boards. So for the templates for my expanded vision boards, I pretty much just kept the same template. It was very easy to just copy and paste. And then for specific topics, I did go and search for a different template for those, like love and for lifestyle, because I just liked how the other templates looked for those specifically. But for the rest of them, like career and for money and travel, I wanted to make sure that I expanded a little bit more, and I really did like the original template from the main page, so I just carried that through. For my labels, I just copy and pasted from the main page. It's that easy. The way that I have it, I have copy on top of an image of a paintbrush stroke, and so I grouped that together. I copied it and I pasted it onto the next page so that that page was specific for that vision. So when I got the images, I made sure that those images resonated with me and matched that topic. So all the images of love, like, getting married eventually, or, just going on more road trips that we want to do together. Anything that I thought was something that I could share between me and my partner, I put those images in that template. And now, because we're expanding on these topics, those images that you saw that you were like, oh wow, I really like that image, but I don't have enough space on my main board. Now you can go back and grab all those images that you wanted to use on that main board and put it inside of these expanded vision boards, because now you've got the space and now you've got the time to put everything down and just visualize it completely. You can make this vision board a book if you wanted to, but let's not get carried away. We want something that's very quick, very concise, and we're going to put this together, making sure that it's organized and also very beautiful. And on these expanded vision boards, now I can write a little bit more and go into a little bit more depth on these topics. Things that I could not put on the main board, I wanted to put on top of the expanded vision boards so that it was a little bit more easier to understand what the story is behind this topic. Once you're done, now you can print it and you can save it down. You can share it with your friends on social media. Do whatever you want to do with your vision boards. I don't share mine on social media. I'm a little bit private when it comes to that, but I'm not so private that I can't share it with you guys, because you're my community and I love you. So make sure that when you save it somewhere where you can always see it. Like, make sure that it's a background or screensaver or something where you have easy access to see it when you need it. Also, when you print it out, put it somewhere where you can find it. Don't get it buried in the back of the closet. This is a vision board, for your dreams and your goals for 2022. You want to make sure that you can visualize that throughout the year. So what I did is I have a habit tracker and I put it in a binder. And so what I did was I went to Staples and I had them print it out and 3-hole punch it for me. So I have it right here in the front of my book here, and this is the expanded pages of my vision board. And that is it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video on how to create a traditional and digital vision board. And I hope that your 2022 manifests everything that your heart's desires. And if you made a vision board this year, please let me know in the comments, what did you do? How did you do it? Did you do it traditionally? Did you do it digitally? Did you find it fun? Did you find it tedious? Let me know. Let's talk in the comments. And now here's my digital 2022 vision board I created using Canva. See you guys later.